What is CSS? Let's get ahead and read the first bullet point here. Says CSS stands for Cascading Style Sheets. Style sheets are just what it sounds like, style templates for how everything on the website should be presented. Now, for some of you, that still might seem like far-fetched, and we don't really know what it means, but I am quite sure I can make you understand. If you have ever opened Word, and I assume that you've opened a program like Word, handling text. Otherwise, it would be hard for you to reach this far in education if you haven't. But you have opened Word, and you have made headlines. You've created headlines. You've created text, body text. You've changed colors and stuff. You've made things larger, smaller. You've had margins between text and headlines, and you're placing things. You're creating distance. You're changing colors, fonts, you name it. What you do there actually in Word is that you're selecting something, which is a very important part of this. You'll soon get to know it in the end of this course. This lecture, we'll talk about selecting a lot. Selecting something, do you want to change visually, to change something of that text, for example, if you want to change that headline to pink. First, you select that, so not everything get pink, just the headline. And what you actually give it, you give it some kind of formatting. You're formatting a part of your text to look different from the other text. That formatting gets saved automatically, so it's part of your document now. Every time you open it up, that document knows for some reason that heading should be pink. That is because there is something called a style sheet there as well, a format sheet, something that goes with the Word file, telling every heading and every text, every image that you have has certain formatting going for them. Even though you haven't put any format there, you can still see the text, right? In Word, you can see if you don't do anything, it's still black and white. So there are some default formatting there, because otherwise they wouldn't be there. There would be no color even. There would be no distance. There would be no space. So all of that is created for you by default, and then you can change that and add some styles in Word that changes the look of things and the placement of them. That is a style sheet. In short, you've done that a lot in Word. And CSS works exactly the same. It's just that here the syntax is different. We type it different. It's more efficient for the purpose of using it towards the web. And it's easier to maintain. So that is the last two words of Cascading Style Sheet and what they stand for. CSS handles the design and the layout of the content of the website, exactly what I just said. And then cascading. Why cascading? When I think about cascading, I'm thinking about kind of waterfall cascading over rocks. Yeah, I think that's actually good likeness for what cascading is doing. It's not water, it's not flowing over rocks, but it is really necessary. If you're in Word again, we jump back to the example, a word, and you type first, I'm going to select this heading, and this heading is going to be pink, like we said earlier. And then let's say I have two rules now that says this heading is going to be black, and the other rule is saying this heading is going to be pink. So the same heading, for some reason now, you might find this very weird because in Word you don't do this, but imagine that this was possible. I could select the same text, the same heading I have here, not a different one, the exact same text, the exact same heading, and I say, you're pink, and then I apply another rule saying it's black. So now, which should it be? Is it pink or is it black? What will we see? So when we type in things in Word, the last thing we we typed, the last decision we made, that is what's getting applied there. So if I first said you're going to be black and then I change it to pink, well, I really change it. It's going to be pink. But that is because I'm making a direct change. When I'm writing code, code is going to be present all the time. Since code is being present all the time, you have to continue asking this question, because I could have said a lot of things for this heading. I could have said it was black, pink, purple, a lot of different rules. But I need, at the very end, we have to decide which rule is going to be applied, so the visual things get like, it can't be all those colors. And that is the cascade. Cascade determines which rule will be applied. It is like it's a waterfall, and you get all the rules at the top of the waterfall, and then this water pours on rocks on the way down, cascades on these rocks, and every rock is a question. And the question, the ask the water could be something like this. Okay, if you say you want this heading to be pink, and this other rule says it's going to be black, now, which of the two came last? And now, it could be that kind of question, because that is one of the line of questions that Cascade asks. It asks a lot more, but just to get an example, it could ask that. And then it decides that the one that came last is the one that's going to be used. Because if everything else is equal between these, how is it to determine whether or not it's going to be pink or black? So there has a final question to say which one was last, but because one of them will always be after the other. It could not appear at the same time in the code. So, therefore, we have a way of concluding which one will be applied. And we, as a developer, we have a rule that we can follow. So we can write text according to this cascade. We can write code according to this cascade. And that's extremely important, that we take the cascade into consideration when creating reusable and maintainable code.